Hi, my name is Elain Evans and this is my daughter Sophie. When you live with an earth angel, as I do, you eat a lot of Philadelphia cream cheese, as it truly is a taste of heaven. So when thinking about devising a recipe for the women of Philadelphia, I wanted to make something really different, something currently not in the cream cheese repertoire. And of course, Sophie wanted something that tasted like a cloud. So with no further ado, I introduced to you cream cheese marshmallows. They are amazing, and you, like me, will end up wondering why they haven't been invented before. Here are the ingredients you need to make your marshmallows. You need a half a cup of Philadelphia cream cheese. That's half a box. Then you need 3 packages of unflavored gelatin, or 3 tablespoons if you're using bulk. You need 2/3 of a cup of water. That's divided, 1/3 of the cup for the gelatin and 1/3 of the cup to make the syrup. 3/4 a cup of light corn syrup and 1/4 of a cup of honey. 1.5 cups of sugar and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I recommend Tahitian vanilla for this recipe. And then to finish it off, you need 2 tablespoons of icing sugar and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. With a whisk attachment fitted on your mixer, you're gonna put in 1/2 cup of cream cheese. Save this little blue piece of plastic that comes in the Philadelphia cream cheese. I always thought it was a beautiful color, and Sophie and I are going to make a craft with it later to embellish the cream cheese marshmallows with. Give the cream cheese a whisk for about 30 seconds, just until it's nice and light and whipped up. So now you have to soften the gelatin. So just make a little well in the bottom of the cream cheese and make a space to pour in your gelatin. And then pour in 1/3 of a cup of water to soften the gelatin. Give it a little mix and leave it for about 10 or 12 minutes for it just to soften up. It doesn't take that long. While the gelatin's softening, we're gonna get on to make the syrup for the marshmallows, and this is what is gonna go on the heat. So we pour in 1/4 of a cup of water, the 3/4 of a cup of corn syrup. Now I've greased these to make it easy for them to come out, but we'll see how that goes. And 1/4 of a cup of honey. And this is honey that is from the Honeybean Center here just outside of Vancouver, located in Surrey, and I picked it up at the Pacific National Exhibit last summer. We're going to put in also the 1.5 cups of sugar, and then we're going to put it over medium heat. So we've got the heat on to medium, and I've clipped on a candy thermometer. It's really important when making marshmallows or any type of candy to know exactly that you're at the right temperature. And we're gonna let this bubble up for about 4 minutes until it gets to 240 degrees. That's softball stage. Okay, so we've reached 240 degrees on the candy thermometer. We're gonna take it off the heat. It's a good job not to dilly-dally at this stage. Many candy tear has happened because you've missed the timing. Our gelatin's nice and soft now, so that's great. And we're gonna put the mixer down and get it started. And what I wanna do is put just a steady stream of the syrup into the mixer as it's whisking together the cream cheese and the gelatin. And then I'm gonna let it mix for, gosh, probably about 7 or 8 minutes, quite a long time. It's gonna get really, really big and fluffy in volume and cool down significantly, which is what I want because I wanna put the vanilla in once it's a little bit cooler. Okay, so it's been whisking away now for about 5 minutes, and I'm gonna add the vanilla. And Tahitian vanilla is perfect for a recipe like this where you don't actually heat it up. It's really, really flavorful, and if you put heat to it, you will evaporate out all the really fruity tones of it. So this is perfect for it. So we're gonna give it a whisk for another couple minutes or so. All right, now we've got to get the pans prepared. And it's a little bit tricky with marshmallows because they have a tendency to stick. Ask anyone with children and a minivan. So what we need to do is prepare the pan by mixing together the icing sugar and the cornstarch in a bowl. And then giving just a small pan, nothing too wide because you want a little bit of about 1 inch of marshmallow to bite into. Give it a spray of non-stick spray. You want to mix together the icing sugar and the cornstarch, and then just put about half of the mixture in a sieve and just give it a light dusting. so that the bottom and all the sides are coated. You want to save any of the extra cornstarch and icing sugar for the top of the marshmallows and for cutting. You want to take the marshmallow off of the standing mixer. Pour it into the pan. Finish off the marshmallows by just using a little bit more of the remaining icing sugar and cornstarch mixture to give it a nice little dusting on top. And then these marshmallows are going to go in your fridge for about 20 minutes. That's a little bit different than your regular run-of-the-mill marshmallows, but a very delicious exception. It's been about 20 minutes and the marshmallows have firmed up. I've run a knife around the edge of the pan. It helps if you either put a little bit of oil on the knife or else dip the blade in the cornstarch and icing sugar mixture. So we're gonna just tap this out onto a cutting board. Look at that, perfect marshmallows, nummy. It's a really good idea to use actually a pizza cutter to cut marshmallows. It makes it a lot easier. So we're just gonna take a nice little run here, give it another cut, and then I'm just gonna give it a little tap in the icing sugar and cornstarch mixture so it doesn't stick as it's resting. Sophie, would you like to try it? All right. Here you go.
Yummy.
As we said when we took the little blue insert out of the cream cheese, we were going to make a craft with it. So what Sophie and I have done is we've cut some little clouds, and we're just going to cut this into little squares and use a toothpick and either a piece of double-sided sticky tape or a glue dot. We are going to glue one of these clouds onto it, press it into a toothpick, and then put it into the marshmallows so that they'll be really beautiful when they're displayed.